Hey, what's up, everybody? I'm here with Kaine. He's the head of the operation for the band Turbulence. It's a thrash metal band, and they got a new album coming out. How's it going, Kaine?
It's going great, man. How are you?
Nice, man. I'm living the dream out here, man. It's a great opportunity to get to speak with you today, and I wanna spread the word on your band. You know, you got some new music coming out. It's great stuff. You got material on social media. What's the social media, by the way?
Social media is Turbulence Band Official. Turbulence spelled with an S-E at the end because metalheads don't know how to spell.
Right. That it sounds good to me, man. Nice. Okay, so you are one man band, man. You are the head of the operation. You run the whole show. Is this by choice? Is this because you said, you know what? I got so many ideas, and I can do it myself. Let me put it out there now that I can just, is this by choice? Is this you've been in bands before? Walk me through your journey, brother.
All right, so yeah, I started playing music in around 2015, 16. That's when I picked up a guitar, and I realized I wanted to start making my own music around 2017, 2018, give or take. I auditioned for a few bands, didn't really work out, just stylistically and distance and whatever. Um, and also I wasn't that good at the beginning. And so
2017, 2018. Before that, were you doing any music, or did you just say, you know what, I'm going to dive right into it, fresh off, no, who cares what anybody thinks? Let's get it right into it.
yeah, man, like I picked up the guitar in 2015 just kind of as a hobby. And then as I started playing more and doing small like school shows and whatever, I was just like, I think this is something I want to do, and it's a lot of fun. And so I just started getting into it, and audition,
Nice.
auditioned for some bands, didn't work out, and then I realized, I just got to start working on my own stuff. So I tried to form a band that kind of fell apart. And
Well, how many members was the band originally?
I mean, I wouldn't even call it a band. It was like me and three other guys, and we only were in the same room together like once, and then like it just didn't work. Um,
Yeah, yeah. Bouncing ideas around, and you're like, let's see what we can do, and we just end up all playing a different song at the same time and stuff,
it,
right?
yeah, it was yeah, it was funny, but you
And
know,
that wasn't Turbulence. This was a band
no,
before.
no. Uh, the band right after that was Turbulence, and I still wouldn't even call Turbulence a band at the moment because I have never had a full lineup. And you asked if it was by choice. Um, Not really by choice. As I've gone through like life and music and stuff like that, it's so hard to find members who are at the level that you end up getting to. Like, you start to as you start to play with more people and talk to more people and try things out yourself, you start to realize, you grow a standard. And and it's surprising how few people can actually meet that standard. And it's actually a fairly simple standard. I'm just like, yo, show up, know the music, be on time, drive, be a decent player. And it's surprising how
It
many
sounds
people.
funny in words, you say it and you're like, it's pretty laid out pretty simply.
Yeah,
How can you mess this up,
exactly. Um, and the people who actually can meet those standards are either unavailable at the moment or have been snapped up by someone else. And
That's the
so,
truth. Yep.
yeah, it's a really, you gotta always be on the lookout. And I was for a long time. And then COVID hit, and I was like, well, we're not really doing any shows, so I can kind of take a little bit of a breather from the whole thing. And
It gave
so,
opportunity to get in there and just really work on the craft. Before this thing ever happened,
exactly.
I was always saying, like, you know what? I just want to drop everything and have like a month where I just freaking record all day and night. You know what I mean? Like, really just go in, wake up and sleep. Like, I'll have the freaking guitar on me, and I'll wake up and just keep going. You know what I mean? Like,
Mhm. Yeah, and I realized that. And I graduated high school in 2019, and then I went off to Citrus College to get an
Covina, right? Covina area,
in the Glendora,
Azusa
right
area.
next to it. Yeah. and
Yeah,
um and I studied to get a degree, an associate science degree in audio engineering. And
audio
I
engineering. Nice.
yeah, and I completed the program. I'm currently going through the last semester of the general eds. so I can get that degree. And it was very beneficial to me in my education. So all the stuff that I do is recorded from this room right here. And
Nice. You
it's
got a whole studio, man. I'm looking at it right now, and it's set up, man. You got the Jaws poster back there. You got the speed limit thing, man.
yeah,
You got it. Oh, hell yeah, man. I
yeah,
feel it.
yeah.
And go ahead, buddy.
Yeah, and it's just as I've gone through like different stages of recording and stuff like that. Like I started out with just like taking my Line 6 Spider amp, direct inputting it into it and EQing the shit out of it.
Oh
that
yeah.
was that was the best I could do. And
Yeah,
then
yeah.
and now I've gotten to the point where I'm starting to record with my EVH 5150 in the Marshall cab, and
Nice.
it's
Real nice.
getting pretty tight. And
Hey, progression, man. You've been in the game for a while, but not that long, generally speaking. You know, you've learned more than a lot of guys that I know. I've been in music for a while. You know, I've just met people that play music and done music, and they don't know a lot of this stuff, and they've been doing it for years. And it's like, how did you not learn this? Yeah, but
exactly.
if anything, you just want to learn that stuff. Did you complete your course, or you just took what you wanted to learn, and then now you're taking it? You're taking it into your own hands and doing with it.
Yeah, so I had plenty of time to kind of like, because originally I had my setup here, and originally I was just recording like scratch demos and stuff like that, stuff that I could have of songs that were in my head, so I could have a physical recording that I could go back to and listen to and absorb. And
you could even send that to people so that you could show rather than tell. So you're not like, yo, man, you got it right there. Here you go.
But when I joined this band in 2019, about mid 2019, maybe, and it wasn't completely. I mean, it was all right. It was an interesting experience. It gave me some experience in playing live shows, and then
you were doing live. That's pretty cool, man. Some people's bands are just a basement and you know small operation.
And they wanted me to record. I at first it was going to be like we were going to record scratch tracks, just so that we could all practice, because we all lived very far away from each other. But then it turned into recording the demo, and so I recorded the first 2 demos of that band. And then I quit the band.
So it sounds like you had a big role in the band. You weren't just like a small time guy in there. You had a big role.
Yeah, well, like I quit the band because it turned into I didn't feel like I was being given the amount of basically I didn't feel like a band member anymore.
The credit started to get fizzled out. The credit was just getting fizzled away, and we started to forget who did what and what happened when.
Yeah, they were kind of doing their own thing, and they were kind of starting. It looked like they were starting to leave me in the dust a little bit, and so I was like, you know what, I'm just gonna step away, and allow you guys to go on untethered from me. And so
that has nothing to do with you, man. You're doing your thing now.
Yeah, and they're off doing their own thing. I'm doing my thing, and I'm much happier.
There you go, man. There you go. Hey, sometimes that's what you got to do. You know, some of the best bands, unfortunately, they fall apart. Pink Floyd is the greatest rock band of all time. If you ask me, ask another guy, but and you know, they separated and then they play separate and they got this whole crazy thing going on. But regardless, man, you got your band and it sounds like it's still coming together, but it's already together. But you got music. I bet you're sitting on tracks that are just like, what do I do with this one? What do I do with this one? Like, you strike me as someone who just got material, brother.
Oh, dude, yeah, you don't even know. I've got like 10 songs that I have already planned to release on the album. Like, all the songs are planned out, and basically just I have 3 songs that just need to be like finished, written. I think that I have to do lyrics for 2 of them, and then just tap out a few extra little pieces here and there, and then I start recording for real. And I just recently got some drum mics, so I could start trying my hand at that. And basically,
drum mics, nice.
Yeah, it's just gonna be like, yo, if I like the sound of what I can do on my own, then I'm gonna go with it, or I'm just gonna find someone else who could do it for me. Like, I'm not opposed to that.
Nice, man, nice. You know what? I got a buddy who's a thrash metal legend. He goes by the name of Thrash, and at least when I knew him, he did. He probably, you know, we changed names, but he's a thrash legend. He's a drummer, so we'll see if he listens to this and he connects with you and just says what's up. But if not, man, you know, the thrash community, man, everybody that I meet, they're talented musicians, they're
Mhm.
passionate about their work. The thing about me,
Definitely.
man, is I like people who just they're about what they do. You know what I mean? You do
Mhm.
what you love and you love what you do. And if I see that, I reach out to it and I acknowledge it. You know what I mean? Because that's what I
Yeah.
like to do and it feels natural to me.
Yeah.
And that's what I saw in you, man. That's what I saw in you.
Thanks, man. Yeah, I definitely think that it's I think that's something that's lost on a lot of musicians nowadays. In there's a few bands in the local scene that that and a few times when I just like I'm gonna be honest, like sometimes the local metal scene just gets on my nerves because there's like so much drama that gets stirred up, like he said, she said, all that kind of bullshit. And I'm just like, dude, I'm here for the music, man. That's all I'm here
Man, once
for.
it gets to that point, you're just like, holy smokes, how did we get here, man? We haven't even played at the Troubadour yet, and we're already talking like this.
Exactly. Yeah, man. Like, dude,
Too soon.
yeah, exactly. Like, are you here to play or are you here to play? Like,
Yeah,
let's just
exactly.
do
Yeah.
this.
And it sucks because you see that so soon, and then the worst is when it happens, and it's just like a little baby egg that just like hatched, and then it's just like slowly gonna get big into some big ass fucking rooster or something. You know, it's just like it's a red flag that you either stick with and you hope it fizzles out, or you do what you did and you get out there and you focus on the music. Because at the end of the day, you want to put that time in the music. It's always about how much time you put in that back, in the back end when nobody's watching. So hey,
Yeah.
everybody chooses what they do, but you chose the right move, man. I think you did the right move. You look
Yeah.
like you're doing good. You got the album. You coming
Yeah.
out, man.
Yeah, man. I've been cranking it for the last few months. Like, when like mid COVID or something like that, in like maybe October or November or something, I kind of fell into like a musical funk. Maybe just because of this whole COVID thing. It was just like I wasn't going to any shows. It wasn't a depression, but it was just like I wasn't in the game. My headspace was all off, and so I just like
That
took some.
happens.
Yeah, I just took some time to kind of reset myself, just kind of get myself in the right place. And then I just started like working like all hell, just back to back to back, just knocking songs off day after day. And I've been talking to my friends and showing them some of my stuff and getting some like some views from them and
Nice,
some
nice.
feedback. And I've gotten some real positive feedback from the people I've
Was
shown.
what was it that did that, man? Was it like did you watch something? Was it a live performance from a band you like, or did you just say, you know what, fuck it, we're just gonna mentally change the way we think, and we're gonna put, it's always kind of something, but sometimes it's just a natural thing, man. So, what was it
I
for
don't
you?
I don't know exactly what it was, but I think that it might have been I I had just come out of the other side of like of the audio program, and I had and during that audio program it was great, don't get me wrong, but there was like that I was getting swamped with a bunch of assignments and stuff, and then it was keeping me from I wasn't able to hang out with a lot of friends anymore, not just because of school but also because of COVID, of course,
Yeah,
and
right,
just
right, right.
the lack of shows. And so it put me just in that negative headspace. And then when I came out of the audio program, I started just like I was laying around the house. I wasn't doing anything, and I was just like
Yeah, right, right.
at some point I just realized, yo, dude, you're not being productive. You're not helping yourself. You're not helping others. Let's just do something.
Just
And so
fucking
I
put it
just
out, man. Just fucking do
exactly.
it.
I just opened up a few assignments of no a few of the songs that I had planned, and I
Songs
just
you were sitting on in the past that you said, you know what, let me just click onto this, and holy sh! You like, was it something
yeah.
from the past that you opened up and you were like, dude, this just clicked after so much time?
It was a bunch of stuff. I had stuff like that. There was one song in particular that I had I woke up one day, like this was before I fell into the funk. I just woke up one day, I just grabbed my guitar, I just sat at my computer and I just started just playing some random stuff that would just whatever the hell came into my mind.
That's what
And
how it should be,
and
man.
then and I just like I left it there for like so long, and then I came back to it. I was like, oh, this is actually pretty good. And then I listened to it through and I was like, okay, there are a few things I would change. I cut off a few pieces. I changed the riff so it didn't sound so it would sound a bit more in the style that I was going for. I
Are you
added some.
stylistically, do you try to stick to the style, or do you kind of let it go in different directions, or you strict about the style?
I try to go into different directions. I think that there's nothing more boring than an album with 10 songs, but they're all the same song. And it's and
Yeah,
so yeah, and so I try to keep it like mainly grounded in one specific kind of area, but also
sure,
very
right,
diverse at the same time. Like this is definitely a thrash metal album, but
right,
I would
right,
like to
right.
think that there are a lot of different things that I've incorporated into it that would make each song maybe jump out to someone. Like that the title track of the album is definitely one of the best songs I've ever written, and it doesn't sound like a thrash metal song except for like one part of it. And
Interesting.
and but it's something that like uh I I wanted to express something that it was some very personal. And I didn't feel like a gun-ho thrash metal song was the best way to go about it. So I had it be very heavy and melodic and chunky.
Oh,
And
nice,
and
nice.
it has some screaming in it like I usually do, but I also incorporated some death metal vocals and some Alice in Chains inspired singing. Like just because I thought because I've been getting into them for the last few months, and I was like, this is
Man in the Box, man. That's a good
mm,
motherfucking song.
yeah. And I was like, this vocal style could actually work well with what I was thinking. And so I incorporated that into it. And I was showing the song to a friend of mine like just this week. And he was like, man, this song is awesome, man. It's like thrash metal, but it's not. And I was like,
Right.
thank you, man. And so it also getting that perspective from him, it has allowed me to kind of I've started to go through songs that I had previously considered done and think, okay, is there anything else I could do like that would make this any better? And it's just a constant series of like just making things better, seeing what you can do, and not really saying, I'll settle for this, basically, because I don't want to shorthand myself.
No, I get that. Where's your music available, man? You got a lot of stuff out already, or are you just like waiting to put it out there and release? Like, can people who
Yeah,
are listening right now, if they're like, I'm all about it, let's follow the journey. Do you got what do they have so they could stick around besides finding you here?
totally. Yeah. So the first demo I put out was something called Saints of Madness. I recorded it with my uncle. It's a 2-song demo. It's a cool like starter. Like I listened back to it and I'm like, oh, this is a nice start. But it definitely doesn't represent the style that I have now become. And then after that in 20 technically the beginning of 2020, I put out the second EP, 2 Minute Hate, which is a 5-track EP, and which was the first one that was recorded by myself, and I was still kind of trying to knock out the kinks. So from an audio engineering
Right, right.
perspective, it's kind of hell. But
Yeah,
I
yeah, I
think
get that, man.
the songs were pretty cool, and I got some good friends of mine to knock in some lead guitar solos,
Oh,
and
nice,
then
nice.
in the middle of 2020, I put out a single titled "This Is War," and that
That
is
reminds me of like Black Flag. What is my war right there?
yeah, it's definitely the most current as far as what the musical goal sounds like. But then even then,
This is
what
war is the name of the track.
yes, and it's definitely it's the most current song. But even then, like it doesn't like the stuff on some of the stuff on the album doesn't sound at all like it. It's
That
and the
happens. That
best
happens.
and the best part about about the album, I personally think, is that some of these songs I've been sitting on for like years. There are there's the oldest song I wrote like 3 years ago, and it's
Wow, wow.
and
That
so
happens, man. That happens.
yeah, and some of them I've edited a little bit, added a few things here and there,
Right, right,
but
right.
more or less it's more or less the same stuff. So you have stuff from different periods of the band's growth on this album, and even they still stand. That's the thing. Like I was listening to one of them that I had kind of taken for granted a little bit, and I was listening back to it just a few weeks ago, and I was like, wait, this is actually not shit.
Sometimes you want to just put that stuff out there because even though you notice you've gotten better and it's not where you are today, you got to think about it like this. Imagine what a lot of musicians would have thought. Like at the end of the day, David Gilmour or any of these musicians, they probably are nowhere. Slash Axl Rose definitely is. You know, all these guys are different, but had they not been documenting throughout that journey, of course it changes. But sometimes what you did that was 3 years ago was you encapsulated something really cool, and it's still sitting somewhere, and that's, you know what I mean, that's still a feeling, that's still that rage, that thunder, that lightning, that's still sitting in there, man. So
Totally. Yeah. And it's just really it's really cool to see all these songs and finally start to put themselves together. And like, because most of the stuff just kind of remained in my head, or just concepts or ideas and stuff, and now to see so much of it just get put onto a physical like piece that I can listen to, it's very exciting, and I'm looking forward to it.
what's your social media strategy like when distributing your material? What's it going to be like? What is it like currently? Are you changing things up? What's that looking like?
Well, currently, the social media strategy is fairly non-existent, if I'm being honest. Like, because
You're posting, you got stuff out there. It's something.
yeah, it's basically I'm posting updates with the album, but as it starts to get a little bit more towards the albums like coming out, I'm gonna be starting to look at some different strategies to make sure that this can get a wide reach. Because like
We'll have you back on, man, and we'll talk all about it for sure.
I'm down, man. Yeah, like a good friend of mine was talking to me about it recently, and he was like, "Yeah, man, if it doesn't matter how good the product is, if no one hears it."
That's what I'm saying. 100%. That's why I asked you, because sometimes you just wanted to see and be heard, get seen, and be heard. You know, some of the best shit is unfortunate to think that it might not have ever been seen. You know, you hear that and you hope it's not true.
Exactly. Like I have I have an album in my possession that is one of the best metal albums I've ever heard, but they never got around to releasing it. And it's painful, man. Like, cause I'm just like, man, this could have been so good if they had stuck with it and put it out. And it's, but you know, at the same time, it's kind of funny because I'm just like, I'm one of the few people that only has it. So
right. No, it's crazy. You sometimes hear like record labels even didn't let certain artists put stuff out that was cool, and they're like, it doesn't sound like the album, so let's and you know what, they put it out like super way late, but it's like, dude, this is fucking rad, like we should have put that out.
Exactly. Yeah, it was like with Duff McKagan when he went off to do his solo project, and whatever studio there was, they stole his, they have his album locked away and they won't release it for some reason. I forget what it is, but some bitches.
Really? What's he doing now? Is he still just touring with Guns N' Roses?
Yeah, he's still with Guns N' Roses, but this was like way back when, like a little bit after he left and got sober. He was doing his solo project, and he did an album under a label, and what I believe happened, yeah, I'm remembering now. The label became under new management, and the new guys said
the new guys,
all the songs,
fucking new guys,
exactly, all the bands that were under the label were going to reevaluate, and they reevaluated Duff's project and decided it wasn't up to what they wanted. And so that entire album that he had recorded and put all his work and money into, that just got put away in some record label's closet, never to be heard.
That's crazy, man, to think. And then some of that chunk of change must have been theirs. Like, do they really have that kind of money to be like, you know what, we're not going to do anything with it after all? It's like, really, like half of this was yours, half of it was mine. But the thing is, they tell you to go fuck yourself, and for them it's like,
yeah. But he Duff got a little bit of revenge, I believe. That same label forgot that they had previously let him go, and so they came to him like saying, "Hey, we'd like to do something with you," and he just went in there like pretending like he didn't remember, and he went up to them and just said, basically, "Go fuck yourself. I remember you, and I remember what you did to me, and you guys can go eat it."
Man, that feels good just to hear and think that he got that back, man. That's nice.
Yeah.
That's a good feeling. Show him,
Exactly.
show him. You gotta just show. Man,
Yeah.
that's awesome, bro. Well, hey, Kaine, we could go on we could go on in circles, man. I mean, like I said, I'm excited about the music. When you have the album come out, let's get you back on, man. You know, this was a good interview, and like I said, we could keep going, but we're gonna have you back on, man. Maybe next time we could get you to do like a performance or something live, you know.
I'm down, man. Let's do it.
Nice, bro. All right, Kaine. Well, hey, brother, I'm excited to call you my friend now and be able to chat with you, and let's see when we get you back on, man.
All right, we'll see you then.
We got the social media. Let's remind everybody, what's the social media?
The social media for the band is Turbulence, spelled with SE at the end. Turbulence Band Official, and my personal is the Kaine Rocks.
The Kaine Rocks. All right, Kaine. Well, hey, brother, you rock, man. We'll catch up soon, man. It's been a pleasure.
Anytime. We'll see you then.
All right, brother.
Awesome.
Cool, man. Man, that was fun. That was awesome, man. It was an absolute pleasure.
Yeah, you too, man. Thank you. Thank you for having me on.
Yeah, man. Cool. You know, you're a cool guy. We could keep going, man. To be honest with you, I just know that I didn't mean to cut it short, but we do have another interview coming up, so I wanted to have a good talk with you without rushing it. But if you ever want to come back on and talk some more, you said you have stuff coming out, so this was a nice intro. The thrash audience. I have a pretty good thrash audience, so they're gonna really fuck with this. They're gonna love this. So,
yeah, I heard about you guys, your thing. I saw the video of some guys I've been talking to, because I'm starting to try to get some business up for me to start recording other bands and make some money. And I was talking to the band. What was the one you got? The guy you said you had
Invader.
on? Invader. Yeah. That's
Invader is how they like to go.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. And I saw them and I was like, oh, this is pretty rad. So, but yeah.
Nice.
But I have plans, because pre-production's almost over with the album. So then I'm going to start recording, and hopefully once I have most of the stuff recorded, or at least some of it recorded, I plan to release 2 singles, and I'm thinking one of the singles is going to have a music video. So and I have like a bunch of ideas for that, and so I'm definitely down to once I've got like some stuff just around the corner, I'm down to come right back on.
All right, Kaine. Well, hey, man, that sounds fucking awesome, brother. That sounds all exciting. So I'm excited for it, man. We'll stay in the loop, man. We got each other here now. So all right, man. You take care, man. It's been a pleasure to have you.
You too. See ya.
All right, brother.